So we just played in a chess tournament at Denny's. It's put on by Dare Springer's Chess Club up in Spring, Texas. They have a monthly tournament. It's 3 rounds of game 55 with a 10-second increment. It's a nice little tournament. Get a few rated games and some food. So I ended up getting 2.5 out of 3 points, which is pretty good. Tied with this other kid. He's a little bit higher rated than me. And I wanted to go over my games. So first game against Ryan. He's unrated, but I think he's actually rated. He had some issues with like a duplicate profile or something in USCF. But anyways, low rated. I think he's probably around 1,000. But so I was black against him. You can see down here the game was in my favor most of the time. He made some funny moves early on and kind of wasted a few moves, and then it was kind of all downhill from there. So starts off with e4. I'm playing my normal black line. This was the first interesting move, b3. Actually get kind of annoyed when they put their bishop here, and then that can cause me trouble, but not this game. So I develop like normal. d3 is not too bad. Bishop out. That's exactly what I thought. Question mark. Not sure what he's gonna do here, but we'll see. So I spent a little time at some point just figuring out if he's gonna make mistakes early on, I should try to capitalize, but there wasn't anything too big yet. That one was super awkward. I mean, with the knight here, queen here, bishop here, I'm not sure where the knight's going. And I don't think he did either. So this was not great for me. What was I supposed to do here? Peter wants me to do what? Just push? Just open it up since he's not castled? I don't know. That's not something I would want to do right now. So I just did queen. The best move was to move back, but he had already moved that bishop, so it was kind of a wasted move. I mean, this, if you've ever seen my line, I'm basically playing the exact same moves as if I'm not even paying attention to what he's doing. Did not move the knight over there. See, I don't know why I would put my knight here. Attacking 3 pawns, that doesn't seem incredibly useful. Or maybe he wants me to go here, 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 then I don't know. So I develop like normal. That's a weird move. Not sure what he's doing there. And this is, this is where that was his opening problem, is he's making these awkward moves. The pieces aren't very coordinated. Just kind of wasting time while I'm developing and doing exactly what I want to do. So I start to push. He sacks right away, pretty early. I don't know if he has a plan. He doesn't have enough pieces to jump in to attack, so that is probably not very sound. So a piece for 2 pawns. Now that's interesting to go here, because this is being attacked twice. I don't know why he can't just take that. So I did this to kick the queen. But what happens if I do this? Takes that. Tempo on the queen. Okay. Because the only move for the queen is, I guess, here or here. So there. I didn't calculate that. Oh well. Let's see. Kick the queen, then I do the knight. I could have gone knight right away, but I just wanted to back up with the bishop. Although I could tell that my position was better, I also didn't want to risk anything and getting some sort of weird tempo intermezzo that I didn't consider would be not so fun. So he takes, I take, I wedge my knight in there. This is a pretty sweet knight right now. With this bishop is going to cause some problems. And I didn't even consider moving my queen over here and attacking, but because I normally just attack the king, but I did see that, so I made the queen move a5. And he didn't have anything better. I mean, I guess the computer says just move the bishop, but you can't really do too much. Can't go queen here because then it's forked by the knight. So there's no saving that knight. So take that. I thought for a minute on this one, that check seemed kind of like a useless check, but then I realized if the king goes there, I followed up with this to attack the rook, knowing that I can get this fork in here, I guess. I don't know. It looked kind of interesting, and I wasn't too worried about my position at this point. He lets me take the rook. I didn't consider sacking yet. I don't know what that would do. Take. I don't even take that right away. I just castle, I guess. Here. I'm not sure why you would not just immediately go rook here. Anyways, let's see. So I didn't take there. I castled first just to get my rook in. Spike check. This one, I don't know where he was going with the bishop. I guess he just wants to protect this diagonal a little bit more. But that just allows me to attack the bishop. And he goes here with the bishop. I mean, at least I would have gone here to keep it. But then I found this, which is just not very fun. I didn't calculate a 10 move checkmate, but I definitely calculated enough here. What would he resigns here, but let's say he goes here. I didn't calculate it completely. There. Boom. Yeah, he's just done. All right, next game. This was the tough game. Well, my next two games were tough, but here you can see that I'm white. It's a king's gambit. Oh, don't give me that computer. King's gambit's good. So he plays this line. I hate this line. It's so annoying, but it's at least not bad for me. So he plays check, and you're supposed to move the king there. That's about all I know. But it's just super annoying because now my rook is useless. I can't castle, and so I have to like awkwardly manual castle. But anyways, that's no good. What am I supposed to do? Just develop a knight, I guess. Yeah, because then he can't strike out, which he does. I wasn't sure what to do here. I definitely did not consider taking. I don't understand how that could be at all good. Oh, because that knight is there. Huh. Okay, didn't even think about that. So I just brought my bishop back. Got my pawn back. Developed the knight. And now I got to think about how to get my king a little bit safer. He keeps developing. I'm trying to manual castle. He throws this check in here. I don't want to go here because then my rook is trapped. So I just go back. He goes back. Since he's higher rated than me, I wondered, you know, if I try to repeat, we keep doing the knight back and forth, and the king, just take a draw. But because I don't have anything crazy going on right now, I don't have a great attack. So, but I still wanted to just play, so I kept playing. What's so bad about that? So I'm not too worried about him taking here, because if I take back with the pawn, I have an isolated pawn, but I am mostly protected, and then I can potentially use that file to attack. So I move here. He doesn't castle, attacks my bishop, take the knight. So I try to do this again. And he lets me. I almost moved my king quickly and would have lost this bishop, but I spotted it. So yeah, now the game is slightly for white, slightly better for white, but not by a lot. But I'm at least castled. I only have a couple pawns to defend. But Black's position is good too. He's got a lot of active pieces. He's got to figure out this knight and this rook. So I wasn't sure what to do. I just wanted to get out of this pin so I could move my knight. I didn't want to trade pieces yet, so I did this. I thought maybe put pressure on the queen, see if he makes a mistake. Thought for a few minutes here. There's a lot of stuff going on with this knight and this bishop and this queen. For example, if I take this, take, that one's not as good because if you look at all the pieces, this knight is not very good. I've got to worry about this pawn. And there isn't much for me. I mean, I end up losing a little bit there, point-wise, so. What's another option here? Or what if I take with the knight? I guess that's really bad because I saw this. Yeah, that one's just really bad. I think I only considered that for a second. But anyways, I didn't do that. I did move the queen, which the computer likes. that check didn't do much. I'm still okay at 1.3. I didn't even consider this knight move. But at this point, I was a little worried about this pressure coming in. So I thought maybe I should trade my bishop. I don't have any big plans for this bishop, and that bishop is good at protecting with those pawns. So I thought, okay, let me just trade off, and it's probably good for me. The computer doesn't like it though. But that's a bad move. He continues to trade. I think he's starting to get low on time here. And his attack kind of fizzled as well. So I go over here to attack that weakness. I don't know why I didn't consider. I just went straight for the pawn. And this is where some tactics start to come in. I move my bishop there. That's not as good. What am I supposed to do? Here, I guess it would be this, this, this. But I don't know if I like that, because then the rook comes in and takes that. Peter likes it. +2. I don't like it. Okay. So I did that, protecting this and this. Peter doesn't like it. He goes there. Still not very good. I find this. This is interesting because with the queen being there, it looks good from a human's perspective. There's this tactic of check, and this bishop is protecting. That's the only thing saving me from checkmate, because since the bishop is attacking this square, the king has no place to go. So I really have to be careful with this check right now. And at this point, so yeah, I definitely can't take that, because then boom, checkmate. So during the game, I definitely considered this. I strongly considered this move. But it just looks so scary to move one of my 2 pawns protecting my king. Now, this diagonal is pretty safe because he doesn't have a white bishop. And this pawn is right here blockading, so I guess I was okay. It just looked too scary. Because if he takes, I do get that rook. Things are good, but it just looks scary with only 1 pawn here. So I didn't do that. What did I do instead? Instead, I did this terrible move. I'm still slightly in the lead, but I was going to go here with the thought of doing that and blocking the checkmate business. But there's so many things he can do. He can start to pile up pressure on the bishop, and then my queen is, and then the bishop's pinned, and then I'm screwed. But he does that instead. I do find this exchange, which is good for me. And I calculated at the time that if he moves the queen there, attacking this rook, that I'd move my knight up here, and I thought I would be fine. I definitely didn't look at this bishop move here, which I think is the only way for me to save it. But because this knight move is terrible, now look at this, huge blunder. He's got checkmate in 7. He was definitely low on time and didn't have, and was starting to play faster. He did find this move, but he didn't calculate this checkmate sequence here, and I didn't either, clearly, because this is an issue. Or not this is an issue, but what ends up happening, so I make the knot, I make a terrible move to try to defend here. But he doesn't see mate. What's he do? He takes the knight, which that in itself surprised me. I thought he was gonna do something else, but anyways, because look, if I take here, this is mate. But since I have back rank ideas, I moved here, which was no good. I was just one square away of where I needed to go with the bishop right here. Would have been better. I didn't even consider that. I just wanted to be able to bring the bishop and like set it right there, or at least protect more. The bishop being here, I don't know. I guess the point here is just mate threats. So but what he should have done is this. Boom. I think my only option is this. Then this. He didn't calculate this, because that would have been pinning this business, which is kind of crazy. Well, oh yeah, the pin isn't the important part. It's now removing that defender, and so now he's got this mating pattern. And so then what do I have to do? He takes that. My only move is here, but I still do this. Because if he goes here, mate. Or if I go there, mate. So I'm just screwed anyways. He didn't see that though. So I mean, queen check. I did this. Computer says it's going to be a draw. But he doesn't find the right move. Gives himself space. But that allows that. And he finally does this, but since my pawn is up here, he doesn't have the same checkmate. So I need to protect this because he's going to hit it with the queen. So I do the check first. I find that move. Then I take the rook. Didn't calculate this far because I was also low in time. This is a nice pawn move because it blocks from taking this. And so my immediate reaction was to move the king up here, but that was the mistake, because this leads to perpetual. Because then check, check, take, and then there's no way that I can get out of this. The winning move was this. Instead of the king up, I should have done this. So now he's not able to take anything. Then he doesn't have the perpetual with the bishop here. And even if he does this, I come back and my queen's protecting this pawn again. So that didn't happen. The repetition happened. So bummer. It was still, considering I could have been checkmated, a draw sounds pretty good, but I also could have been winning. I was up over 6 points. So Jose was lower rated. I definitely should have won this. But again, this is where I feel like another example of all these people have been studying and playing in pandemic, and they're way underrated. So here's Jose. I'm black. Playing my normal black line. This was weird. H3 so early. I'm not sure. Maybe he's got ideas. And then this business is weird. So I make the same moves that I play all the time. But I didn't move my queen over here like not there. Like here, like normal, because with all this stuff happening, I didn't see the need to move my queen here. I thought I thought the activity was going to be on this diagonal, so I just kept her here, thinking that that would save time, save a move. Okay. So you can see how crazy it's going to get in my favor, then in his favor for a bit, back and forth. I don't have a clear plan of attack when white fianchettos, I guess, does this. It's harder. I feel like it's harder to break through unless they make some sort of moving, weakening move. So I'm just developing. I mean, this is where it gets a little better for me. I just double up on this pawn. He kind of ignores it. The computer even says, just ignore it. I thought he would do this. I don't see why you don't just do that. See, that's so crazy. I wouldn't even... Like, I'm probably going to try to push pawns and open up files, but -4 just by pushing this pawn, I just don't see it. So I take. He brings this knight out. Not sure why. Take. So yeah, I mean, he's attacking this. So I move my queen here because that's normally where I have the queen. That's just where I put it. I guess over here was better. There's the knight again. So this is, yeah, so like I said, I start pushing my pawns. The computer doesn't like it. Ooh, look at that, -5.8. I should have just castled here. I saw that I was able to castle, but I didn't do it right away. I thought I needed to push a little bit, but yeah, castling before I push makes more sense. And I didn't take here because then I wouldn't be able to castle. I wanted to castle. Take. I definitely thought that was a weird move. I didn't know why he moved that out here. I guess to protect the knight so that the queen could move. I thought the open file would be in my favor, so I did it. I didn't see the purpose of taking that. That turned out to be a bad move. So yeah, what's going on here? This is where I make this bad move. He checks first. We exchange, then he makes the knight move. So I move here. I'm eyeing this bishop, but I just feel like I'm more active up here than if I would have gone down here. Because if I go down here, I would just do this if I were him. That just seems scary. Even if I go here, then if he could go here, or even the queen here. I don't know. That seems scary. So I didn't do that. I went up. He attacks the bishop. That's a terrible move. What am I supposed to do? Just move this back. That doesn't seem like a good idea because then I lose this pawn. But that was definitely not a good idea. He's at +5 now. I'm worried here. The rook coming in. I thought about maybe doing this, but that's also scary. Rook over. He doesn't exchange down here. I think I think I have about 15 or 20 minutes on him right now. So I think he probably feels that he has the advantage and he's thinking a lot longer and is maybe getting nervous. So I take. I know that that exchange is better for me. Even though I'm not winning, it's just less for him to attack with. So I try to maneuver. Since he's lower rated, I thought maneuvering was going to be a good idea instead of trying to outright attack. Didn't understand this, then that, then that. Wasn't sure what to do here. I don't know, I wasn't really thinking about what he could do. Terrible. So I push the pawn, he attacks it. I'm like immediately surprised because I wasn't paying attention. But here, the knight coming in here and here looks pretty awesome from white. So I bring the knight back to swap it off. And again, since he's down on time, I decide I need to keep pieces on the board and make him think about things more. Make it complicated, or at least make it so that he has more to think about. So I keep all the pieces on. Didn't realize that was a bad move, leaving this square open for the queen to infiltrate, but he doesn't. So I just make some what I thought were relatively safe moves. I thought it was a good idea to connect these two pawns, even though this bishop down here looks kind of stupid. Here, and I knew if he took with the pawn that I could do this and we'd trade off, and then it would either be a draw or I could finagle a win since he's lower rated. But he ended up taking with the queen, and I knew that, and I thought that that was slightly better for me if I played accurately. And so I ended up, and so then I was correct, because instead of going the obvious king f3, he goes here. And I was like, what? That's awesome. So I get to go in here, and that's way, way better for me. Even though I still kind of throw away this advantage, because I'm also bad at any games. So he moves there. I don't know why I didn't just move here. That would have been so much better. I was starting to get low on time. I wanted to make sure I was playing safe, but safer moves and not throwing away the advantage too much. So I don't know why I didn't consider that. I already had the idea of like getting my bishop here and then trying to move in somehow. So it goes there, bishop. That's no good. This was terrible. I don't know what I was thinking, because then here, but he didn't even do that. And now I make this terrible move. See, I started to hallucinate, and I thought, after he made this move, I thought, oh man, am I screwed if we like exchange here, and then he's got these two pawns moving, because I only have one to defend, and even if there's one exchange and my king's too slow to stop the pawn, I definitely hallucinated there, which is why I made this crazy move. I was really not sure whether to go back and try to protect or go forward and try to attack. Was not sure what to do. So I made a ridiculous in-between move. So there, when he did that, I thought, okay, I think I'm okay, because I could take, and then I can push, and I calculated that I would be faster in queening, because then if he goes here, I'm going here, and then there's no stopping the queen. So he goes there. I know that I can stop this, or at least come in and try to take this pawn. He moves there. I get a little worried because I'm not sure what happens here. I think this is still okay. Take, and take. So now this is kind of forces him to make a move. He doesn't really want to move any of his pawns, so he has to move the king, which means I get to infiltrate. And this is where he didn't resign. We definitely played on, but after this, it was just pretty much a win. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but I definitely just won. So I could have easily lost on that one. He was up at plus 3.8. I mean, I was definitely in a little bit of trouble. And over here, I was at minus 4.5. All I had to do was castle. He said he was worried when we talked about it afterwards. He was worried when I brought my knights over. So anyways, 2.5. I got a few rating points on that one. 1621 and 1630. But yeah, check it out. I'll put some links in the description to Dare Springer's